So welcome to the Effective Student Leadership in FRC. I'm Erin Grace, I'm the president of ILITE Robotics. And so to start off, we're gonna go into a brief team history. So ILITE was founded in 2005 out of Haymarket, Virginia, and it stands for Inspiring Leaders in Technology and Engineering. Our team is composed of 75 members and 17 student leaders, so this creates a nice balance between leaders and members. And now Stephen is going to talk to you guys about an inspirational leadership quote.
A true leader has the confidence to stand alone, the courage to make tough decisions, and the compassion to listen to the needs of others. He does not set out to be a leader, but he becomes one by the equality of his actions and the integrity of his intent. And I feel like this means that you can't just say that you're a leader, you have to become a leader through what you do and how you act.
Hi guys, I'm Cole. I'm one of the leads for our electronics sub-team. Leaders are not born, they are made. And they are made just like anything else through hard work. And that's the price we'll have to pay to achieve that goal or any goal. This is a quote by famous NFL head coach Vince Lombardi. Here at ILITE, we embody this practice of forging leaders. We as leaders now must pave the way for the leaders of the future.
So to begin, I'd like to ask you a few questions about leadership. Our first question, what does being a leader mean?
A leader can mean to take initiative and not have to be asked what to do, but just go ahead and do it.
That's good. And what do you think makes an effective leader?
So to me, an effective leader is someone who really understands the people on their team and what their strengths and weaknesses are. And what this allows them to do is it allows them to put certain people with other people so that they can balance out their strengths and weaknesses and also improve on their weaknesses.
All right, and our last question, what is the difference between a leader and a boss?
A leader works with his team, where a boss just tells everyone else what to be doing.
That's good. Okay, so in order to be a leader, you need to have a vision or a direction you want your team to go in. And in order to direct your team there, you need to have the motivation and the management skills to get there. Throughout this entire process, you also need to be able to coach and build your team in order to make them better and to unify them together. Traits that we believe effective leaders hold include communicating efficiently, maintaining integrity and high ethical standards, showing enthusiasm, and being aware of your team environment. We'd also like to emphasize the difference between a leader and a boss. A leader develops people through compassion and effective delegation, whereas a boss uses people through micromanagement and is often impersonal.
Hello everybody, my name is Diego Hernandez and I'm one of the Outreach Co-Leads. Now I'm going to talk to you guys about some of the responsibilities and the authorities of leaders. So first, communication. Communication is vital to having any successful team. In order to communicate well, you first need to be timely. You need to communicate effectively to all your teammates so that they can schedule out what they need to do and when it needs to be finished. Second, you want to be respectful. By being respectful and saying a clear and concise message, you're going to get everything that you need to across effectively. And lastly, you need to keep it well documented. By using different platforms of communication, you can document everything that you need to so you can refer to it in the future.
Hi, I'm Brandon. I'm co-lead, and I want to be talking about the forms of communication we use. Communication is important because it allows our team to be on track of news and current tasks. Our first organizational tool is Trello, which allows us to put tasks on cards and assign them to certain groups of people, assign them to, mark them as complete, and assign them to specific people. We also have Slack, which allows us to communicate ideas between our mentors and our students on the technical side outside of our normal meetings. And we have our email group, which allows us to get news out to everyone on the team, including the parents and the mentors.
Hi guys, my name is Jess and I'm the lead of graphics, and so I'm here to talk to you guys about the responsibilities of a leader, which one of them is delegation. And so when you delegate, you have to give everyone opportunities to take charge and be leaders for themselves while you work on the bigger picture. So another thing you can do is give opportunities for your members to become leaders. So you have to let them be accountable for the actions that they do and let them work independently on these while they can rise to the challenge.
My name is Justin, and I am a lead of our electronics team. The leadership team is the glue that holds the rest of our sub-teams together. If each member of our team is a gear, then each sub-team they're a part of would be a rotor. The leadership team would be the airship that holds those rotors together. And if we can get the leadership team working with all of our other sub-teams, we can finally take flight.
So now we're going to talk about the sustainability of a team. And so a team's sustainability relies heavily on the sustainability of its leaders and leadership structure. So you want to encourage your teammates to grow and your members to continue to want to be a part of the team, and you need to give them the tools to be able to do this. And once they have that, they can utilize those tools to possibly become future leaders. And you also want them to understand that all the sub-teams are important. Like Justin was talking about, it's super important that all the sub-teams work together so that the entire team is successful. And here at ILITE, we have something called the Internal Leadership Program, where we pair younger students with student leaders, and this allows them to train for future leadership positions, and this is a way of shadowing or being an example through your actions. And while you're doing all of this, you want to understand that you're working towards the future. Once you graduate from your team, your role is not over, because you have inspired these kids to continue to be a part of this team, and you have created a snowball effect.
Documentation is important because it allows our team to look back on our previous successes and failures and pull ideas from our previous documentation. Our first form of documentation is Google Drive. Google Drive allows us to store things such as graphics, booklets, Steam Expo, pretty much anything that isn't technical. GrabCAD allows our build team to create and design CAD drawings and share them as a team, and GitHub allows our programming team to keep updated on code and collaborate on programs.
Hello, my name is Mia, and I'm a co-leader of the sponsorship team. On ILITE, we've developed an attendance policy that is emphasized from the very beginning when we recruit members to our team. At this point, we also define the difference between a dedicated member and a visiting member. A dedicated member is present at all events and all meetings, while a visiting member may only be able to dedicate their time to some meetings or some events. We understand that personal commitment has a huge impact on our team efficiency and productivity. ILITE uses a record-keeping system to enforce our attendance policy. We establish expectations from the very beginning and have clear consequences for each member of the team, which is enforced fairly through the leaders and the members alike. No one is treated differently.
In order to make sure that things such as our attendance policy are well documented, we have a membership handbook. And inside this handbook, it outlines all the requirements and expectations of all of our team members. And when they join the team, they sign this so that they understand what's expected of them. And if we ever need to refer back to it, we can.
So now we're going to talk about being the voice of authority and being a leader at the same time. And to do so, you have to have public speaking skills and authoritative skills. So to start off, you want to have clarity and comprehensibility. You want your teammates to understand what you are asking of them so they better know what to do.
You also need to know your topic. By knowing your topic, you can ensure that everyone else is effectively getting your message and make sure they get all their tasks done on time.
And when you know your topic, you can then create a plan of attack so that your team members and sub-teams know what order they need to do things in.
And if they have any questions about that plan of attack, you need to be able to answer them. By answering them effectively, you can get your job done and move your team forward.
It is also very important to have a respectable presence. If you show that you respect yourself, you will also gain the respect of your peers.
And lastly, have a confident tone. By having a confident tone, you'll inspire your own team members to be confident, so they're motivated to get the job done.
And now we're going to talk about the ILITE leadership structure. And so, as I mentioned earlier, I'm Erin Grace, and I'm the overall president for ILITE Robotics, and I deal with team organization, team awards, and tasks and communication with both sides of the team.
I'm Kristen. I'm a co-vice president of the team, so my responsibilities include communication, event organization, documentation, and outreach.
So the tasks of the presidents include leading meetings,
Reporting to the head coach,
presidential and sub-team specific tasks,
and ensuring our mentors are up to date.
Hello, I'm Jabron. I'm the co-lead of Outreach. Over here we have a chart that shows the structure of our sub-team leaders. So each sub-team has a certain amount of leaders depending on the amount of members within each sub-team and the amount of weight each part carries. Teams such as Build require more leaders due to having more members, while teams such as Web Development require less leaders because of the amount of members upon the team. Each leader leads in their own style. Each one will go along their way carrying the responsibilities of a leader. It is their, It is their responsibility to track progress and communicate with their members as well as mentors to make sure everyone is up to date. And it is as well their responsibility to make sure each member of their sub-team is doing their task.
There are various factors that make our leadership structure effective. Some of these include keeping the team sustainable so that the future can thrive, having students drive the team, keeping all of our members engaged, being all-inclusive, and working efficiently.
My name's Steven, and I'm one of the programming leads, along with Brandon, and I'm going to be talking about team meetings. So at the highest level, we have mentor meetings, and mentor meetings are between the head coach and the mentors, and they're for logistics decisions that the students can't make by themselves, such as transport to and from an event. And then later, the head coach will convey any decisions made in that meeting to the students. That way, both the mentors and the students are on the same page.
Along with our mentor meetings, we also have leadership meetings. These are where the student leaders get together and work together towards common goals, plan for the next team meeting, or plan for outside team events. These meetings usually last between 1 and 2 hours, but this can change depending on what we have to do for the week. One of the most important things about this meeting is the only adult present is our head coach, and this allows the students to speak their minds, speak as candidly and freely as possible, and allows us to work in a more efficient manner.
My name is Dylan, and I am the web team leader. So full team meetings are important because it allows your entire team to be updated and announced on full events that happen during the week in full team meetings, and information that is discussed at the student leadership meeting and the mentor meeting. Sub-team meetings are also important as well. They take place directly after full team meetings, and it is led by the sub-team leader. Each sub-team leader therefore assigns tasks and discusses events that are important within the sub-team. So just to discuss what we've just to review what we've discussed further, this is a visualization of what we've discussed so far, with mentor meetings taking place first, and then the student leadership meetings, and then the full team meetings taking place directly after. Then sub-team events take place in each of the individual sub-teams.
Our selection of our leadership is done through a panel of coaches, teachers, and former ILITE alumni. They come together to discuss who they feel on ILITE has the qualities of being a leader, who has the dedication, the ability, and the experience necessary in order to lead. Our general member selection is done through an application process that is submitted online, and then there's an interview date, which people who are interested upon entering ILITE come, interview with the sub-team they are interested in, and then they are discussed within the leaders of each sub-team upon who they want, and they are welcomed onto the team. Once people are accepted on the ILITE team, all people who were not accepted are always invited to come help out on ILITE and our leadership.
Now we're going to talk about the evolution of our leadership. And so when ILITE first began, we were a very small team to the point where we had one president and fewer leaders. And since we've had such an influx of applications and a lot more members on our team, we have switched to a co-presidency with a lot more leaders. And so our current ratio is 1 leader to every 5 students. And a really good example of this is how our build team has 10 members and there are 2 co-leads for that sub-team.
On ILITE, we have a business and build team that must function as one in a symbiotic relationship. We encourage mutual respect between the business and technical sides. That shows a difference between a successful team and an unsuccessful team. First, EI and chairmans are not just about robots, it's about expanding STEM beyond your members. And we also reach out to other clubs at our school, including marketing and graphics, to incorporate those aspects into our team.
Circling back to that quote by Vince Lombardi, leaders are not just born, they have to be made. Now, the first part of becoming a leader is actually on the leaders now. They must give opportunities to their members to become a leader, to have them stand out in a leadership position. Then those members must take the initiative, must be determined to fulfill that role, and then later sustain it with enthusiasm and integrity.
We believe one of the most important aspects of our team is the growth of our leaders. We foster this growth by encouraging a supportive environment with lots of opportunities. We also ensure our leaders know the importance of documentation for sustainability purposes, having a voice of authority, passing down their knowledge, and of course, inspiring others.
So one thing you guys should do when you're with your sub-teams is being able to build bonds. So for example, before the school year started, me and my sub-team, we went out and had a team bonding day, and this let us become really close to each other. So instead of being able to give critiques or ask for advice from strangers, we were asking advice from our friends.
So one of the main goals of ILITE is to prepare our students for the future. This includes the professional world and any work they may do outside of robotics. So for example, we have one of our mentors named Jacob Cohen. He was a member on ILITE a couple years ago. He's now a mentor and he works professionally as a programmer.
Here at ILITE, inspiration, leadership, and the culmination of both in STEM fields are what our team works towards. If you have inspired leaders, those leaders are able to take that inspiration and pass it down to your team members. And when your team members are inspired, you can inspire your school, your community, and the world at large.
Some things to remember from this webinar are to inspire your members around you, not just boss them around and tell them what to do. You're all peers, you should all treat each other as equals and with an enormous amount of respect. And remember, it's not always easy to be a leader, it's hard work, but in the end, the success of one person is not confined to that member, it radiates throughout the team as a whole. ILITE would like to thank you for watching our webinar.
And hopefully we'll see you at Worlds.